Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well in this day, afternoon, morning, evening, night, depending on where you are. My name is Ken the Revolutionary. I'm here to bring you another video, just a short live. I won't be here for long, so do not worry. I know it's late in Kenya, so I'm just going to have a little chit chat with you just before you fall asleep or when you wake up tomorrow and see this video. So if you're not subscribed yet, if this is your first time here, please, I talk about Kenyan politics and world politics as it relates to Kenya. So make sure you subscribe, share, comment, do all the good stuff. If you're already subscribed, you know the first order of business. Like the video and make sure your notification button is on. Okay? A lot is going on in the world. Iran just got attacked by American and Iranian forces, Israeli forces. And a war is just breaking out. We are just, a war has commenced in the Middle East again. This was expected. We had rumors of war, and there war it is. And this is spreading out because apparently Iran is, attacking Dubai and Saudi Arabian oil fields and somewhere in, I don't know, Abu Dhabi. Just, it's a mess. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. How does that relate to Kenya, really? We don't know the full extent of this war. Is it going to spread over to Kenya? We don't know. Kenyans were saying, hey, Iran, while you're bombing, Kenyans on the internet were saying, hey, Iran, while you're bombing people, can you please not forget about this? State House, Nairobi, we'll give you the coordinates. Anyway. Well, as of right now, have you heard another big news was that Ayatollah Khomeini lost his life. He has passed on. So that's another news that, worldwide news to Nino. But let me concentrate back to Kenya because this channel is mostly about Kenya. So I want to talk about, I think his name is Jonathan Ngeno's death. Jonathan Ngeno, okay? He's a Kalenjin of Kipsigis origin, sub-tribe. As you know, there's like 9 sub-tribes within the Kalenjin community, the Kipsigis and, Nandi and whatever. I don't know all of them off my head. But so the topic is Ngeno's death. Is it a blow to Ruto? I know a lot of people are saying now it's going to be one time Ruto. Listen, I will reiterate my point once more. If we were to go to the polls, and yes, there was a by-elections where UDA won, it's going to make my point. If you were to have a fair, free, fair elections that is verifiable and truly democratic process, Ruto cannot win elections, okay? Just like his predecessors. No sane person will vote for Ruto, and there's no way he can win re-election as a president, okay? He's most likely going to lose. But as we know, and I will remind you again using Joseph Stalin's great quote, it is not the people who vote that decides who's the winner. It is the people who count the vote. And Ruto, somehow in Kenya, he's the only one who got the memo, okay? So what did he do? He made sure that he has every official that's going to preside over this electoral process be on his pocket. As some of you might say, he has affordable IEBC. Affordable IEBC. So, and case in point, we had this, by elections. Was it last week? Yeah, a few days ago, actually, this past week. And you saw who won. They were all UDA victories. And on the ground, if you go, watakwambia, one time. What happened? Well, there are some claims that people are being given 200 or 2,000 or 20,000 Kenyan shillings to vote for UDA. Whether that's true, I don't know. What I do know is this. Ruto and his goons and the machinery that he has put in place will make sure that he wins through crook. All means, okay? Africa, I see you. As long as you don't mention anything about Arsenal, we'll be friends today. See, Arsenal is like UDA. You know they went through skullduggery ways, but congratulations to Arsenal anyway. Fair game. They won. I can blame. We're not going to talk about football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. We're back to politics. Back to politics. You say that's why I'm here. Yeah. Anyway, I know, but congratulations to Arsenal. I think they're still, as much as I hate to admit this, I think Arsenal is going to win the Premier League. All the scores today in the Premier League is 2-1. You still think Premier League is not rigged? It's rigged in favor of Arsenal. But anyway, let's not get to that. Let's get back to the topic. Ngeno's death is a blow to Ruto. Now, like I say, if you're going to be an analyst, I know a lot of political analysts will argue that, okay, that's another blow to Ruto because it is rumored that Jonathan Ngeno, the late Jonathan Ngeno, who lost his life through that helicopter accident, and a lot of people are saying that Ruto or somebody affiliated to Ruto or the State House, the UDA, they were not happy about, Jonathan Ngeno's political position or his so-called rumored association. It was rumored that he was going to invite Gachagua in Rift Valley. I don't know much about that. This guy was against Gen Zs. That's what I know. I had him say, hii mambo ya kujaribu kutoa nani rais through unconstitutional means, where he's wrong. It's actually constitutional means. That's what makes it, But anyway, so just like Ogola, just like Raila Odinga and any other person, there's talks that his death might have been a result of, somebody doing something. Ile kitu alifanyia Saitoti and his deputy, okay? When Saitoti named the names of people who are involved in what was madawa ya kulevya, okay? So people are saying, maybe Kasongo is behind it, okay? I don't know. What I know is any kind of means of transportation in Kenya, if you're a political figure, avoid flying in helicopters, or if you have a car, please have enough convoys and people who are ready to pew pew in case of anything, or take SGR and have your bodyguards ride with you, okay? But anyway, so there's talks that the Kipsigis will probably not fall in line as far as support for Ruto come elections, and I've always made this point here. Ruto will still win. I didn't say that Ruto will win fairly and squarely, but he will still win. Okay, simply because he has the IBC, and you remember even before this by-election that just happened. Remember, they announced, Serikali announced that no phone or electronic devices are allowed at the polling station or near the polling station. That's why I kept on arguing, telling people, wacheni mambo ya tutalinda kura, or there's going to be let's do a revolution at the ballot. It's such a bunch of baloney. Listen, whether you like it or not, Ruto is going to rig himself in and declare himself victorious. He's not going to lose this in the elections. Now, the only way he can lose these elections is if post the elections, once the results have been announced, if you guys are going to be outraged enough, kama mmekasirika mko na hasira ya kutosha, museme vile 2007 2008 how people are, museme we are not accepting this, na muingie mwanze kufanya maminio. And even then he will not step down. He will unleash the most vicious attack on anybody who will try to protest against him. Probably there are people who are saying that he might use his friends from RSF to do his dirty job. Of course, Museveni has always been involved in this because remember 2007, 2017, William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, they went and, well, they reached out to Museveni. We remember the police officers who came through Busia, who walienda kuwa watu Kondele, okay, and other places, okay. So Museveni always have a hand on it, and they're very good buddies with Ruto. So again, like I say, what will probably happen, and I will tell you again, this is the prophecy, political prophecy. Ruto will lose the elections, but he will rig it wazi wazi. Oscar Sudi already told you, kama haijatosha tutajaza. Okay? So once that happens, unaona Marjin, whatever the case is, the president of IBC already aliwacha kazi, because he knows what's coming. He knows what's happening behind the scene. He cannot reveal everything, but he knows what to be expected. So anyway, so most likely the election is going to be rigged. Then Ruto will declare himself president. Mtaenda sijui Supreme Court. Unajua Kenyan elections are always decided at the Supreme Court. Okay, Supreme Court already wamejua what is going to be, what's going to happen. Okay, so they are going to declare they'll uphold the victory by the IBC declaration. Then afterwards we'll see what happens. Watu wata protest, Ruto ataanza kuwa watu, wachinje watu, blah blah blah. Then there'll be negotiations. Then wakina Sifuna wataingizwa kwa serikali, wakina sijui nini. Then you shall have the new opposition that consists of wakina Gachagua and wakina Sifuna, and the rest will be in the serikal. And then, because remember, listen to me. Let me read this comment real quick before I Ruto path to winning is narrow, but he will still win or rig. The only path to beat Ruto is Sifuna. He is the only candidate who can bring that euphoria. No. I mean, I see what you're saying. Again, okay, if you want to vote for Sifuna, you are well within your right to vote for Sifuna. I'm not against it. By all means, do so. Vote for Sifuna. Hey, if it floats your boat, sour. The thing with Sifuna is this, like I said, I mean, okay, if we are talking about just, to put somebody for the sake of somebody to replace Ruto, then okay, we can argue that Sifuna, is a reasonable choice. But Sifuna is pulling a Raila. Sifuna, I've said it before here, Sifuna is a Raila Odinga 2.0. Okay? Financed by the political elites or the oligarchs. I suspect, and this is my suspicion, Sifuna is not going to double or be hata lipwa waziwazi. He's not corrupt in the sense that he accepts bribe waziwazi. You understand? He's not corrupt in the sense that he was heading a company or heading a ministerial docket where money was lost and he was to be responsible for it. Okay? So in that sense, he's not corrupt. But this is how I suspect Sifuna is playing it, the Raila way, where Raila used his emissaries or anapata ile mhongo indirectly. That way you cannot trace his hand back to his financiers. Okay? What do you say? You have the money plant in America. Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is this. Sifuna is compromised in the sense that he is indirectly being bribed or financed, just like Raila. I told you, Raila was being bought and paid for agreeing to step down and to stop maandamano and to enter into the broad-based government by, alikuwa anajifanya ati ana run for AU, but that was a cover in order to justify releasing money from the treasury, which we were told, because remember, there were people who were questioning, how much money was allocated to Raila's campaign for the AU candidacy. Okay? We were never told. And the MP that actually raised that question was arrested, got detained for 1 week. After that, he was told Shaivo. But I said, Raila was not running for AU to win the election. He was running, okay, in order to receive, justify the reception, okay, ndio kujustify serikali withdraw money from the treasury to pay Raila for his candidacy, but really it was going to Raila's pockets. So on the surface level, you can be like, oh yeah, Raila, you know, it makes sense. Raila is running for AU and everyone is, hey, AU, our own Raila Odinga, and I run for AU. So we should add, he needs to get money. But at no point did they disclose how many billions was released from the treasury to this day. And in fact, right around that time, the Auditor General actually said that there was a couple of billion that was drawn from treasury that could not be accounted for. Okay, so it was a front. The whole AU campaign was a front in order for Ruto to withdraw money from the treasury to pay Raila for agreeing to stop the maandamano and for saving his butt for joining him in government. That way, Ruto is not taken out by the Gen Z. Unaelewa? So the same thing I'm saying, that's how Sifuna is playing it. Sifuna is not receiving the money directly. You cannot trace any mhongo, any bribe that has been given to Sifuna directly. No one goes to his office and says, Sifuna shika milioni sita, uanze to run for president. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta cannot pay him that way. But this is how they are going to pay him. Sifuna ran for president. Okay? What I just mess with the algorithm, make him the news, the biggest news in Kenya, prop him up like he's the guy, he's the main guy, and apiga makelele. Yes, there is euphoria around Sifuna. Get Wajaluo, you know, to rally around it, sema warudishe mkono, because Luyas have always been supporting Raila, Mashemeji. You know, you see what I'm saying? Then he will, you know, join the united opposition, because you heard him say, you know, to when you go hunting, wengine wanaanzanga na huko mwisho na wengine wanaanzanga na mwisho, alafu mtakutana katikati mkisha ninio mkisha trick huyo mnyama. Okay, so basically, in not so many words, Sifuna was confirming that he's basically working with Kalonzo and Matiang'i and Gachagua. Okay, so if they might prop him up or have him run with Kalonzo as his running mate, or Kalonzo as the president, Sifuna as the vice, or vice, whatever the case is. But all in all, they are propping up Sifuna, you know, pay him indirectly, and he'll be paid in the form of campaign money that is going to be, we are going to be told it was campaign. Hey, Uhuru Kenyatta gave 100,000, and Uhuru Kenyatta doesn't have to release that money directly. He can use one of his companies or his minions, or, you know, some different people. Kabogo can do the trick, or somebody. Okay, so all in all, I'm saying, if you are to talk about taking out Ruto for the sake of taking out Ruto, okay, the same mistake we did in 2022, saying afadhali tuchague shetani mdogo than the shetani, then okay, Sifuna is who you will go for, right? Because last time the argument was afadhali Ruto is not a Neo, is not a dynasty. Okay, Ruto is a hustler. Tumejua ni mwizi, tumejua amefanya hivi and the third, but he's a hustler. So let's vote for him. He's not a dynasty. He's babake hakuwa yes mtoto wa Jomo, and he's not mtoto wa Oginga. So let's settle for Ruto. Then we found ourselves where we are. Same thing with Sifuna. So we'll say, Sifuna is clean. Sifuna has not been compromised, hajapatwa kwa scandal yoyote. So Sifuna ni shetani mdogo. Let's go with Sifuna. Kona euphoria. He's a young person. He's talking to TJ. Like I mentioned in my previous video, the main reason why Sifuna is being brought is to actually try to woo the Gen Zs, because the biggest threat is Gen Z. Remember what Menelik was saying? Remember this guy called Menelik Kimani, okay, who was arrested by the DCI for like 2 days, who was warning Ruto, and he's saying, hey, revolution ikikuja, Ruto, Uhuru, Moi kids, na wengine weo, Uburu, Gachagua, mtanyongwa. That's what got him arrested, because the Gen Zs understand the underlying problem. These politicians, including Sifuna, are nothing but jokers. They want to perpetuate the same colonial system to go on. So they want to try to confuse us with different members of the same cult that we call the political class. Sifuna is no different from these people. He's just never been caught in any scandal and is relatively young, and he makes a lot of noise in every morning TV news station. Okay? Afrique is saying Sifuna just needs to consolidate the Western vote that locks Ruto from Eastern, Central, and Nairobi. Yeah. Like I said, if you want to make an analysis of how Ruto will lose, we can do that all day. And you're correct. Sifuna, Ruto will probably lose. Like, there's no winning formula for Ruto. But like I said, I keep on maintaining, if history is something to go by, let's learn from 2007. What happened in 2007 and 2017 and even 2013? If history is to go by. Remember, these are the same faces that were on the ballot in some form. Okay? I'm not undermining Sifuna. I'm just telling you, Sifuna is not it. Sifuna is not, he's not that guy, okay? He's not what you think you are. He's a distraction. He is put there to actually try to woo the Gen Zs. Sifuna is not about a total overhaul of the system. Sifuna was talking smack about Gen Zs when Gen Zs were busy working to take out Ruto through a popular revolution. Sifuna was busy holding Raila's hands while they went to State House to negotiate for a broad-based government. Sifuna was fully in support of it and was reminding us that they are going to negotiate with Ruto as ODM and not as Gen Z or any other Kenyan. They were going to do so as a party. And from that day, Sifuna made it clear that ODM party to him was more important than the Kenyan people. And if you're going to hold your political party, to say that you hold it dear to your heart more than you hold the people that you should be serving, who are the Kenyan people, you are a traitor. You are part of the problem. Sifuna has been a senator in Nairobi for I don't know how long. Okay? Never have I heard Sifuna say anything about that thief that has been looting Nairobi. Sifuna is a pretender. Sifuna is a grifter. Sifuna is Morara 2.0. Sifuna is Caswell without the expensive suit and a funny hairdo with a different pigmentation. Sifuna is a flat-footed pretender. I'm telling you today, he's part of the problem in Kenya. There's no revolutionary credential in him. Iniquity was found in Sifuna. But he's a pretender being financed by Jomo, the son of Jomo, and others. So when I see people like my friend saying that Sifuna, no. In fact, my friend Afrik here, he was the one who was telling me about Dani Morara. You remember Morara? Remember when you're telling me you are convincing me that Morara dio, eh? Morara dio nini, and I was telling you guys, yeah, Morara, are you serious? Wait, Afrik, wait. Don't make me invite you in the studio, apa? Eh? Morara, Morara. I even came to your platform and I told you Morara is a con man. I told you. Yeah. I would have given you. I'll give you a few minutes because I really don't have time. But let me see if I can work this because it's been a while since I put the link on. But let me just put it in there. I won't be long. So May if I don't keep you here for long. But I will give you the link. So since you're trying to convince me that hold on. Let me try to how do I do this? Hold on, let me change the thingy. Crap. Alright, the link is in the comment section. I'm giving you 2 seconds. Kwa sababu muda unayoyoma. Kim, nice. In order to catch my live, you have to notification bell, eka notification bell on, so you can always find me there. So I'll be here briefly. Let me since Dani ameitisha link, nimemwekea link hapo tuchape sasa 5-10 minutes alafu we'll call it quits. The link is in the comment section. So okay, I see you. How do I add you? Hebu tuangalie hapa. Ndio huyo basi. Are you on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Long time. I can hear you loud and clear.
Congratulations to Arsenal for beating us in Emirates.
Do you know it's not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time, it's not even the 5th time. You need to more. Don't even talk about it. So we are a better side, but the game. At the end of the game, I felt like Arsenal were not convincing me that they're the real champions. They didn't play like champions towards the end of the game. Yeah,
I think they'll still win the league, but I mean, I can't argue with you because Chelsea are terrible. So I have to just agree with whatever you say.
Yeah. It's good that you have acknowledged that, and thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah. So what is with you with your latest obsession? Wewe tuliongea Morara, I told you Morara was a con man.
No, you see, some of these politicians, when they come, they've got these sweet words. They know how to mobilize the crowd. But when you're in that camp, you try to find out the small little mistakes. They will flip at some point. So Morara, we had to smoke him out in good time so that he doesn't take people for a ride. So Morara, that is how we technically ended his career in politics. So we played a role to finish him. So, yeah.
So, okay. So make your case for Sifuna. What's so exciting about Sifuna?
I think since you don't have any option of a leader, Sifuna is offering some kind of fresh breath away from the kind of political rhetorics that we have been seeing. And I think he has been consistent in every platform that is going. And again, I am sure that he's shocked with this kind of following and approval that is getting. He didn't expect that. He only expected to be the Nairobi senator, to champion the rights of the Kenyan citizen, and that is what he has been doing in the House. So this prop up of Sifuna, the way you are putting up, it's a game played by the state. I don't think so. They would have done that successfully with Morara before dropping him out. So Sifuna is self-made politically, and it is just by coincidence that is getting this kind of traction, because Kenyans are desperate and they want new leadership. They want something fresh. They want. They don't want to recycle leaders. Sifuna is not a recycled leader. The way you want to put it, he's not recycled. He is somebody who is serving for, I think it's the second term or the first term as a senator. He got many votes, more than even the presidential candidate, his own presidential candidate. So I think he has got something to offer, and he should be given a chance.
So let me get your Nino on this. So number one, you said he's the only option, or we don't have any other option as far as leaders.
As far as leaders, if you look at what we have on the opposition's table, these are people who, if I look at Gachagua, he cannot be an alternative to Ruto. Yeah.
What
Then
about
if
Maraga? And I'm
uh,
not saying
yes,
Maraga
yes.
should
If
be,
I
but
now, yes.
okay. I guess the point I'm making is
No, no,
this.
no. I know. Let me finish, because you
Okay.
brought a very important point. I've been thinking of how we can. He's a better candidate. He's a better candidate. He's a
Based on
reformist.
what? Based
No,
on
listen.
what?
I'm talking about Maraga now. You've introduced
Oh, okay.
Maraga. You've introduced Maraga. Maraga track record has been good. When he was in the courts in Mombasa, he performed very well. When he was the chief justice, we saw what he could do. We have not seen any scandals with Maraga. With Maraga, institutions will work. The police will work. The justice system will work. EACC will work. Every other thing that will work. But now the problem is Kenyan politics, first of all, has become very transactional. It doesn't have the money. And that is another thing. Now, the politics in Kenya is also very hostile and verbally hostile. It doesn't have that language. So that language is what Maraga lacks. It lacks the political language. He is best as a technocrat, an advisor, or whatever he's serving. But as a president and campaigning in the campaign trail, I don't think he can manage.
The reason why I just threw a name there, I didn't say that Maraga is better or Sifuna or not. I'm just saying that your argument that you don't have an alternative rather than or an alternative other than Sifuna, I don't necessarily
You
agree with
see,
that. I mean, we
yeah,
have
yeah. You see, head
that
to head. You
right
you take
because
take these candidates head to head.
okay,
Take them head to head. Take
okay. Second point,
Sifuna, yeah, Sifuna against
Sifuna
Sifuna
against
and
Miguna. How about that?
no,
Sifuna against
no,
Miguna.
Sifuna against Sifuna.
No, Sifuna against Miguna.
And Miguna, Miguna cannot even command his word following as an MC. Hata hawezi pata kiti ya MCA huko Nyakach. What are you
Okay,
talking about?
okay, so
Miguna people just like his rhetorics. But he's not a polished leader that people would want to add. Miguna is a bully. Yeah. So just go on.
the point I was trying to make is this: is number one, you're making the same argument majority of people were making last time when Ruto was running against Raila. That uh, there's no one who can, what's the alternative to the dynasties? It's the same dynasties, Mwakanenda, Mwakanun, Moi
Mhm.
family, alafu sijui Kenyatta family, Raila is
You,
Oginga.
you see, you see.
Then hold on, hold on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you
I'm
say,
holding on. Let me hold
then
on.
then you say, afadhali Ruto, he has the support, akona pesa, and we knew he was corrupt, sindio? Na But we were arguing Yeni Afadhali, the same argument you're making for Nani, for Sifuna, that put him against you, Nani, Wajakoya, whatever. He's better. Then we voted him and akaingia. Here we are in the same place. Now you're telling me the same thing. Oh, there's no leaders out there against Sifuna. You know, Sifuna is young. Sifuna, the same thing. But Sifuna, I'm arguing, Sifuna is the same person in the same system, actually played a role in the same system that is that gotten us here where we are. So that's why I kept on telling you that why should we make the same mistake?
I totally disagree with you. Totally disagree with you.
On what
First of
aspect?
all, Sifuna in 2022 were running against William Samoei Ruto. They were not in the same camp. Sifuna in 2027 is against the establishment. So I don't know why you are getting this notion that Sifuna has gotten us here. How did he get you here? Sifuna did not vote for William Ruto.
Did Sifuna support the NADCO talks?
The Azimio NADCO agenda rubbish. That was bipartisan, so everybody else had to support it.
Okay.
Yeah, it took party lines. So there are things that take party lines. Once you are in parliament or in the Senate, there is a position that your party is standing for. So the NADCO report was a report that was crafted by all political parties. It was not under a Sifuna agenda.
Okay, but Sifuna is member of his party, okay? So,
yeah.
What was the general feeling, ethos of the people of, how did the Kenyan people feel about the NADCO talks? Were they supportive of it? Did they support it, or they felt like this is just negotiation ya kugawa positions?
I think you have to really understand the citizens of Kenya, the people generally, or the voting blocks, how people, and even the minds of the general masses. Now, majority of Kenyans who propel these leaders to leadership, they don't think like you. All right, they don't think like me and you. You are going into the details of so many things, but so many other people would tell you that Baba akisema left ni left. They don't have to read the document, and those form the majority. Those form the majority. So the logical thinkers like you were on this other side. Wait a minute, this thing will it even bear any fruits? But when I looked at the NADCO report and the people who were put there by William Ruto to spearhead it, I saw Kidamakao and I said, this is rubbish. Logically, this is rubbish. It was not going to work.
Okay, so here's my reading of things. The general mood of the country, and I know you're offending a lot of Kenyans when you say they don't think like me and you, because I think they do think like me and you.
No. Majority of Kenyans, majority of voters who propel these leaders, majority of if you see the voters who are supporting Gachagua, they support him because of tribe. Ukiangalia hao wengine who are supporting Baba and all that, huyu Oburu right now, it is tribe. Unaona? Yeah, there's nothing else.
Let's go step by step. My reading, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, my reading of things, majority of Kenyans were not supporting NADCO talks. We forget about report before we get to the report. They were not supporting it because they were telling Raila Odinga, if anything, they were telling Raila Odinga, please don't enter into talks with Ruto because Ruto is the very person who was shooting our young ones wakina Rex walikuwa wameuliwa on the streets. Let us deal with him through a revolution. Okay? But Raila and his group, ODM, which Sifuna, the Secretary General of the party, had a press conference akasema sisi tunaenda kuongea na rais as ODM and told wale wa Gen Z mkitaka kwenda maandamano and then maandamano, but we are going as ODM to negotiate the party, knowing very well, he was well cognizant of the fact that majority of Kenyans were not supporting the NADCO with discussions with Ruto, since Ruto was the one who was brutalizing them. But regardless, they went ahead and had their talks, which Sifuna supported. I remember Sifuna was in Citizen TV saying
right.
even if it means that ODM we find some seats to party seats up mbili tatu, that's okay. Okay.
Can I
So,
say something? Can I
yes,
say something?
but let me make this point, and I'll give you the floor. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is this: Sifuna cannot come and tell us that, you know what, my party was supporting the NADCO report, but I did not. Because I will make the argument like this: if you are ideologically conflicted or are at odds with your party, if you are principled enough, okay, you say, I will no longer stay in this party and resign because I cannot be part of a party that joins a person who killed our youth in protest, okay, and violated numerous human rights violations. And we are entering into a talk with him. So I, as Sifuna, I will resign as my position Secretary General, and I resign as a member of ODM, and I'll go at Nairobi senatorial position or presidential position as a independent. He would have garnered more votes than even Raila Odinga, in my opinion. But he stayed with ODM, wakaingia NADCO ika metamorphosize into broad base. And he was there holding the book while they were signing. So which is it, Sifuna? Go ahead.
Now, how did we get to NADCO? That is what you need to understand.
Maandamano.
NADCO, yeah, through Mandamano. What did the state want to achieve with the NADCO report, and what did Raila's team want to achieve? Now, Mandamano were informed by, just as you are saying, majority of Kenyans feel like this. That is what informed the NADCO report. Everything that Kenyans were talking about were in the NADCO report.
Did you see
Now,
the agenda?
I saw the agenda. I saw the agendas in the NADCO. Everything. Listen, everything that Raila represents. Let me rephrase it. Everything that Raila represents was in the NADCO report. So everything that the opposition were representing then were in the NADCO report. But why was the NADCO report so necessary for the government? Because one, they didn't want the mandamandos to continue. Were they going to implement it? The answer is no. And why blame Sifuna? And yet we didn't. By then, when NADCO was coming up, Sifuna was, yes, the Secretary General of ODM. But was he this big figure that we have now? No, the answer is no. Nobody was talking about Sifuna, including you. Nobody was talking about Sifuna then.
I
Uh,
was.
Nobody
I
was.
was.
Did he have any following,
I
like
made 3 videos.
any ambitions to be president? No, he didn't have any of those kind of
No,
ambition. He was
you're not.
simply, what is the role of a secretary general of a political party?
From my understanding, he's the mouthpiece of the party. He
Yes, he
he he
communicates.
he articulates the position of the party.
He simply communicates the party position.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I made 3 videos about Sifuna on that front because I was following it keenly. And at that time, Sifuna, that's how, when he started making, his name was started the new Pata Masifa Mingi Mingi, because he was debating people, whatever the case is. So again, that, like I said, Nani, I'm saying this. If Sifuna was principled, okay, he would have said, me, I don't agree with this thing because Kenyans, they have rejected Ruto. He's not listening to Kenyans. Ruto has rejected Kenyans. I mean, Kenyans' plea or prayer to stop killing them, abductions, extrajudicial killings, so forth, so forth. But here it is, my party wants to enter into talks with this guy. Na majority watu kwa ground wamekataa. That's when even Raila was catching some slack. And this thing, they knew that Ruto was not going to respect this 10-point agenda. They knew that. So it was just to fool people that, oh, we are going to implement this agenda. But no, they were not going to do it. It was about rewarding a few people positions in the executive branch of government, which we've seen, Wakina Nani, Joe and the rest. which happened. But the
No,
agenda, hata
there
moja
you
haijafuatiliwa.
get it again very wrong. You get it
Where?
very
How?
wrong. Joe Mbadi and everybody and those who are in government today, they negotiated those positions by themselves. Baba
Where?
was not
When?
involved. But go and look at Caroli's interview on with Jeff
No.
Koinange,
Mzalendo.
and you'll get to understand. And then
Mzalendo.
I'm just giving you information that
That's
you
why
are
I'm
not
correcting
aware
you.
of.
And I want to correct you with facts. I'm telling you.
What fact?
Raila said in public that we donated.
Now let me tell you why
Sasa,
he had. Well, I want to tell you why he had to say that. Why he had to say that.
okay, why?
Yeah, you see, yes, he said it in public. It would have been an embarrassment to him to go against what had happened. But everything that was negotiated when Raila was in Dubai. And in fact, Karoli put it very, very clearly. When these guys came to meet Raila in the airport, or at the airport, when they had this kind of negotiation, he even ignored them. He ignored them completely. He didn't want to be part of it at all. So these guys negotiated for their positions alone. They had to. Raila had to come back and really tell them, okay, you've done a wrong thing, but
Okay.
let us go with it.
Okay.
How are we going to get in? What are the benefits of this thing?
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's assume that is the case. That
Not
they
that let
went
us
behind.
assume that is the
Hold
case.
on. Okay. Let's assume
Mm.
that's the case. That they went behind Raila's back and they got appointed because walikutana na Ruto for whatever, in secret or whatever the case is. Raila akienda kwa Ruto, ambie Ruto, hey, I did not approve this. Mimi ndio ODM head. Si Raila akisema amesema. You mean to tell me Raila could not go and say, hey, huyu Pio and I never appointed him to Ninio. So can you replace him
That's the same
with
way I would
Orange?
ask you, nionyeshe mali Raila alisema sisi tuko kwa broad-based government and we are going to work with
He
Ruto.
said, remember when he was telling us that he give us
Where?
time? Hold on. I'm answering you. I'm saying Raila said, give us time so we can work with Ninio and bring things into order. He was speaking in assuming the position that he is now with the government after he said, no, hold on.
This is a very straightforward question.
No, and I'm answering.
Kenya
Listen to
Rebel,
me.
this is a very straightforward question. Show me a clip where Raila is saying that I am in government with William Samoei Ruto. We will work together until 2027 and we will support William Ruto's government in 2027.
Okay.
Don't say things which he never said.
Sawa.
Even the daughter
Give me,
keeps on saying the same.
allow me to answer
Even
your question.
Sifuna keeps on
Allow me
saying
to
the
answer
same.
your question. It is like the Jews when they say, when Muslims say, where did Jesus say that he's God? But when he was talking to the Jews and he went to that synagogue and he said, he quoted Isaiah, where he said, before Ibrahim, I am. The Jews understood what he said. That's why they took Mario wakaanza kumpiga, because basically he was saying that he's God. So the same thing I'm saying this, Raila, follow what he said. He told us in public that we donated experts to go help Ruto kwa sababu tulikuwa tunaona kama country inaenda mrama, mambo inaenda mrama, right? That's number one. Number two, he also said in public saying that, what was he saying? Give us some time, because people are complaining, oh, nothing is changing. Give us some time. We are working to bring bei ya maisha chini and whatever. Now, for somebody to say, give us, who is he referring to? Because he can't be referring to the people of ODM at give us time, because ODM, because ODM are not in power or in charge. So basically, he's referring to ODM, which has entered into a working relationship with UDA, who are in government. And what were they signing in that KICC where Sifuna was holding the paper and Sifuna put in the Ninio? What were they signing? They were not signing to go to Disneyland. They were signing to be part of. That's why Wakina Joho entered and was given CS positions into the government to help Ruto. So in effect, ODM were in government working with Ruto, a working relationship with Ruto. That's why Mbadi had to resign as a leader to become the CS of Treasury. Opio and I had to resign.
Now listen.
So he doesn't have to say that we are in
let
government.
me, because people, I think first of all, you need to understand that Mbadi Joe put Raila Odinga in a very awkward position. And Raila was very, very smart. He played along, because had he not played along, the assumption is that Ali Hassan Joe was going to go with the coastal bloc to join government of William Samoei Ruto. And Mbadi had also played his cards and seen that Raila Odinga is not going to run in 2027. So why are we wasting time? Me, I've been out here in the cold, wacha niingie kwa. They were given that bait. Unajua Ruto ni mjanja. He gives you that bait. Shikeni hii bait. Kama mnataka, mtaingia. So that is exactly what happened. So after kupeana hiyo bet wakameza. Now Raila Odinga comes and says that who told you that that ODM will not be on the ballot in 2027? Who told you that? And I'm asking you, who told you that? And I think in my thinking, Raila Odinga was propping up Sifuna to be the candidate in 2027. You might laugh at it, but no. It would have been so big. It would have been so big that if he had announced Sifuna as the candidate for ODM in 2027, that euphoria in 2002 would have followed along, and that would have revived the ODM political movement. That is my thinking. And that is how I think he was propping up and putting, and that is why he kept on insisting that they are in Azimio, they are not in government. And that is why his brother, who is now, he keeps on saying that, we are in broad-based, but we were not consulted about the leadership takeover of Azimio. As far as he knows, they are still the ones who are controlling Azimio. So they wanted to be in two places. Yani wako huku kwa serikali na wako huku kwa opposition. Unanielewa? So yoyote ile itacheza, they would play along. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different perspective, but which is fine. To me, I'm looking at it like this. ODM understood that they were catching a lot of flack from the members of the public because they were being seen as people who are entering into a deal with the devil, who is Ruto, the bad guy, just like they did with Uhuru after 2017. Okay? So they were trying to have it both ways, trying to be, we are actually trying to help Ruto, to check him, to make sure that the 10-point agenda is being fulfilled. We are not there just because we want positions. But the real reason was they actually wanted a Nusumkate, which they got. But they're trying to fool Kenyans that, we are there to make sure that Ruto stop the extrajudicial killings. Because if you look at the 10-point agenda, which one did they fulfill?
I really think that where they lost it, they made Gachagua their agenda. The rift between the Kikuyus and the Luos played also along very well. They were trying, and they keep on saying this, we are punishing this other, we need to take up that position. So what they are trying, they were trying to replace Rigiji in that formation. That is also, some quarters are also whispering that now it is our chance to take over,
But that's what I'm saying. ODM knew that they lost the ground once they entered into a deal with Ruto. So Gachagua was the fall guy. Let's point at Gachagua and try to say that, okay, huyu jamaa, he's a tribalist and he's not happy that we're in the government. But the real issue was Kenyans were not happy with ODM which was seen as a party that was fighting for the real ideals, the plight of Kenyans, they've entered
True.
into a coalition into the government with Ruto, who has actually is brutalizing Kenya and is the face, the mascot of what's wrong with Kenya. Now they are part of it after they said so nasty things about Ruto, who has stolen the elections and maimed their supporters. Now the Kenyans watu walikuwa wanatoka kwa ODM and they were really ninio.
Kenya,
So to create a distraction, wakaanza hii mambo ati Gachagua is the problem. Gachagua ni ninio. Sijui hawa Kikuyu are the reasons why they are not happy because we've never been in government, so they are jealous because now we're in government. But in real sense, Kenyans were disappointed with ODM because they truly showed their colors that they've never fought for Kenyans. It's always about a handshake, ndio hao pia wakule. But they don't even help their own supporters, as we've seen in Homa Bay and other places where Opio Adaise is from. Yeah.
Kenya Rebel, I think you are right. Me and you were on the same side in 2022, or you've forgotten. We are on the
Where were
same
we in
side.
2022? I didn't support anyone.
You didn't support anyone. You were supporting someone. Or even in 2027, you are not supporting anybody.
I support the Gen Z to have a popular revolution.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember that when we were having that discussion.
Okay. Let me as I finish as I finish this evening with you.
Yes, sir.
This is my feeling and the general feeling of many analysts who are looking at this thing critically if they really want to win the election. Forget about the rigging aspect of it. We are assuming that elections are free and fair. On a free and fair election, this is how the elections are going to play. Yes, Ruto has inherited the Raila base, the ODM base, but he has inherited a percentage of that base. A good percentage will not go along with Oburu and the likes. So maybe he has inherited 40%, maybe 50% of Raila's base, maybe 60%. To him, that is a plus. To him, that is a plus. He builds up on what he had in those regions. All right. If he had if he got only 500,000 votes in those regions or 100,000 in those regions, is coming up with numbers that are more than that because his support in those regions are still intact. So he has had it in those regions. In Nyanza, is going to win in Nyanza big time. With Gen Zs or not, he's still having a positive sign in Nyanza. Now, if you go to places like Western, ODM outperformed Ruto in 2022. So what does that mean? The base that Raila had in 2022 automatically transfers to his base. So he's also having a positive in Western Kenya. So he's having that positive in Western Kenya, meaning that he's going there as a strong candidate. And there's only one person who might destabilize that, and that is if the Western Alliance unite around Sifuna, which I highly doubt, but I pray that that happens. Now, if you go to Central, this is how the matrix balances. Now, in Central, is Gachagua able to consolidate the Kikuyu vote such that they vote as a block for him? And remember, the joint candidate between William Ruto and Gachagua produced 70% of the votes in that region. They voted for William Samoei Ruto. How is he going into Central? He's going minus in a negative form because Gachagua will inherit majority of support in that particular region. So he's not gaining much in Central. But what does he need? He only needs 30%. And that 30%, can Kindiki deliver that 30%? The answer is yes. He can deliver 30 and 40% of Central Kenya votes. So that is what he needs in Central. So he's done with Central. Then he comes to Nairobi. Nairobi, traditionally, the opposition outsmarts the incumbent. So in Nairobi, again, the opposition are going to perform better than the government. So they are at a positive. So William Ruto will have his constant base, and maybe add few more votes because of the ODM influence. So in Nairobi, it doesn't come with a negative; it comes with a positive. You get my point. But the Gen Zs in the urban center will carry the day. Now, what projection are we looking at, and why is the government so scared about this young generation, and why are people talking about a revolution, including yourself? Is because in 2027, the guys who will be 30 years by then will be about 10 million people. And they will be newly registered voters participating in the elections, probably for the first time. And where are they going? Where are they going to vote? They are definitely going to vote on the side of change, and that could be probably the change that the united opposition is bringing. So that is the only slim hope that we have in 2027. Because remember, with Raila's euphoria, Ruto beat him with 233,000 votes. 233,000 votes. So any tilt of even a percentage of 10%, a percentage of 10% of a million votes is almost 100,000 votes. All right.
Okay.
So that small little percentage tills is so important to either side, the opposition and William Samoei Ruto. And that is the reason why William Samoei Ruto has become very transactional. So he's using what the opposition don't have. That is the money. Kama muna pesa, wacheni hii siasa. So that is exactly what he's doing. So that is my view, Kenya Riben. Thank you very much. And we wish that you come to Africa so that we have our banter there sometime.
What time do you come in? I rarely.
I normally attend, but nowadays you do. You I hardly get you. Like I was just going around to check whether you are
Yeah,
around.
I'm not
Nikaona.
consistent. I'm not consistent as I used
Yeah,
to.
again, these things you cannot be very, very consistent because you'll be talking every day the same thing. So you like a mad person. You can only talk once in a while when there is something and bring in fresh things. If you talk every day, what will you be telling people every day? Are you mad? Only mad people we talk every day. Utakuwa unajiongelesha kila siku, saying the same thing. No, unless there
Yeah,
is something new that is arising.
yeah,
Uh, like you see now, you're having a conversation with you. That is to your listeners, they're having a fresh something new, something that probably they were not thinking of. But now that is how the conversation goes. That
yeah.
is my opinion. And if you are not there, tell your listeners to come to Afrique 24, and that
Okay.
is how we build each other. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mzalendo. I appreciate you stopping by and giving us a different perspective on things.
Yeah.
Definitely, there are people who think like you on the comment section. Namona Annie Goodyear, Sioka times two, times three.
Annie Goodyear, those are my fans. Goodyear is one of my great fans. We are always hanging around with him at Afrique 24. And
Shama,
Annie
Shamaya,
waited. Eh?
Shamaya pia kwa hapa.
And Annie, how?
Shamaya.
I can't
Oh,
see them, but
oh, you can't see. Okay.
yeah. Nice to
Anyway, thank you so
mention their
much. I
name.
have to end it here though. But congratulations again for Arsenal, and hopefully we meet you in the Champions League so we can get our
Oh yeah.
revenge.
The next time, at least we have to put a bet between me and you. The next time Arsenal are meeting Chelsea, we have to
Okay.
shave your hair.
That...
I think that would be a better thing for me.
ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'll try. I'll think about it. But thank you
Yeah,
so much,
to
everyone. Thank
tukuweke
you,
hata
Zalendo.
mock, hata mock.
Sawa, I'll consider it. Sawa, sawa, Zalendo. Thank you so much, guys, for everyone who have been watching. This is Kenya Revolutionary. And thank you again. Go to Afrique 24. He's also has a political channel. They talk about soccer. They talk about politics. If you like that kind of stuff, go there, subscribe, share, like, comment, and everybody else who have been here. So you know what time it is. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace and blessings. I'm out.